gentlemen, boys and berries, we're going to talk again on another Tech Tuesday, talk about some techie stuff. And the graphic that I had was about the gears turning in the transmission of all this online stuff. There's a lot of moving parts within the internet. And that's part of what I was going to talk about. But I've got my co-host, Brian, on there in the green room, and he did some research. So we're going to learn a little bit more about the new technology that's coming up. So where be him? Where is he? There he is. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me on again. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. It's fun. And I saw in your notes that you got some new tech news that's coming up. But initially, I was going to talk about all the little gears that turn within the internet, because I've found that sometimes people do this set it and forget it thing, and then something unhooks. Like, say, for example, you might have changed a domain for an affiliate product or something, and you've got an autoresponder that's automatically going out, and guess what? Now it doesn't work because all that big series of 20 automated emails don't work because that one link is no longer active. So you got to check that stuff once in a while, make sure all the gears are turning.
Yeah. Speaking of gears turning, there's a great new topic from a newsletter by Greg Swan. He's a fellow that I know in the community here. He's a creative marketing leader at Fallon. He sends out a newsletter with news topics, and one of them is about a new startup company called Reed. And Reed is going to judge you and rate you on video calls. They've got a $10 million seed round for its software. It's going to measure, it says it's going to measure engagement and sentiment of participants on video meetings. Today's version works as a plugin on Zoom and gives real-time data on engagement, sentiment, talk time, and more. And there's a beta version of it. So it's kind of like, you know how hard it is to know how people on video calls are responding? Are people engaged? And what if they turn their video off? Can you do that, and will it work? Are they, so now you're going to be rated, and, companies can buy this from a company called Reed. So
is that Reed, R-E-A-D, like that, or
yep,
R-E?
Yep. Read your mind, read those gears that are turning. So if the gears are turning in your brain and you're engaged, it's going to know that somehow.
So those are some interesting questions. If a person turns off your video, like with where I'm at right now, I got the little green light on there with my little camera. If I put my finger over it, you can't see me, but the green light's still on, so you could still hear me. Now, sometimes there's these things that have two lenses. So if that green light is off, is it really off?
Good point. And can you still be engaged when your video is black and you're not visible?
Well, that's what I mean. Is it doing the facial recognition in this Read thing so it sees that I'm happy? What if someone has those frown lines and they're really happy, but it looks like they're bad?
Right. Yeah. Well, they've gotten 10 million in seed funding, and it's going to be right now a plugin on Zoom, and I'm sure it'll grow to other platforms as well. Interesting thing. So, and there's a beta version you can sign up for and test it out. But, what's the commercial benefit? I mean, I guess, is that going to start going into employee reviews? I mean, is it, who would pay to have that? I guess I'm not sure.
Well, I think there could be a lot of benefit if you can judge a person's mood, if they're in a buying mood, and you can kind of track that over time and see a person whenever they have this look on their face and they blink 3 times, they end up purchasing something, then to track that. So it's kind of creepy, and it could be kind of good too.
And I didn't think of it as buyer and seller, but I guess I should. I thought of it as team leader bringing on their employees and almost not snooping, but, really doing a fine-tooth comb on engagement and interest with employees. And then what do they do with that info? Hopefully they use it constructively.
Well, on that tech topic, there is that thing about all these things that are able to detect if a person is lying, or if a person is feeling confident, or if a person is, being honest and sincere, or the decision, like the self-driving cars. I remember they contemplated that if you've got a self-driving vehicle going down the Pacific Coast Highway and it has a choice of driving over the cliff or running over a family of 5, it would say, okay, the value of a person that's driving one human life over the cliff versus the family of 5, the self-driving car would drive over the cliff. I wouldn't want to have that car.
And Brad, that self-driving car right now has an approximate value of $100,000, but 4 human lives is worth infinitely more.
Exactly. So do you want one of those self-driving cars that's going to make decisions for you as a human? Do you want this Reed software to be judging you when you go for a job interview?
Yeah, I mean, it might get to a point where, I hate to say it, but the government may have to step in and regulate some of this stuff for ethics. And
yeah, I'd hate to say that too. The government's, who are they to regulate? It's an interesting topic, the whole thing about wearing a helmet when you have a motorcycle. Isn't that my choice to do that? Well, yeah, but now the ambulance has to take care of you, and it could be taking care of somebody that cared more.
Go.
Hey, we've got our friend Mike Wilkie here. Good morning, Mr. Mike. For those that don't know, Mike Wilkie is a magician friend of mine that also does cartooning.
Great.
You could probably do it,
Mike. That's neat. Thanks for listening. Some other tech news that I can share with Mike and Brad is Instagram launched live scheduling. So you can now schedule your stream, similar to this show is on a stream, up to 90 days in advance, and followers can set reminders to tune in. So Instagram is stepping it up.
That's a good thing, I think.
What's that?
I think that's a good thing. I mean, it lets people know when the show's on, kind of thing. Yeah. It's an interesting dilemma that might start happening is there's only 24 hours in a day. So if 24 people take up that 24 hours, now you got to go to somebody else's channel.
TikTok is helping advance a language, believe it or not. TikTok only came around in 2018, and it has taken the world by storm. TikTok is helping an obscure language, Interlingua, find its new voice.
Interlingua.
Interlingua, I looked that up, and the trusty definition on Wiki is an italic international auxiliary language, IAL, developed between 1937 and 1951 by the American International Auxiliary Language Association. So there's also an IALA. It ranks among the most widely used IALs and is the most widely used naturalistic IAL. In other words, those IALs whose vocabulary, grammar, and characteristics are derived from natural languages.
Well, that's right up your alley there as far as being a tech writer, being able to communicate that language to the person that's receiving it, because there is a whole bunch of new language that comes out all the time now, like what does LOL mean?
Right. And then it finds its way into our dictionary, right? Our lexicon of words.
Yeah. Is there even a dictionary anymore? You just kind of hear it. I mean, I see a lot of these acronyms and things, these different words or verbiages, and I don't understand them. Like the whole concept of woke. What does that really mean? You're woke.
How are you spelling that?
I don't know. I guess WOKE, like you're a woke-minded person. You understand things, and then they might abbreviate it into WOK. So now it sounds like wok, and people get it confused with a Chinese frying pan. And that's not politically correct because I said Chinese frying pan when it could be used in Thailand.
Right. And let's see. HTZ's Vive Flow VR headset had press photos leaked, and the future is going to look pretty cool.
Headset?
Yeah. Virtual reality, it's going to be more and more a part of our lives as well. So that will be an interesting topic going forward.
Have you ever experienced any of that kind of stuff with the screen on your VR?
I did once, yeah, at a car show in Minneapolis at the convention center. A car show. It was incredible. It was so lifelike.
What did you do?
I think I simulated being in a car on a road, I think, and it was
okay.
Yeah, it took me.
Yep, I did that. I drove a McLaren.
Nice
sports car.
Yeah.
I sit in this little seat, and he turns the thing on. I look down at my hands, and I got race driving gloves on my hands. And I look at my pants, and I got racer's pants on, and I hit the gas, and whoa! It really is. It does feel real. It's pretty bizarre because I get out of it, and I'm like, whoa, trying to get my balance back. It's pretty interesting.
There's someone in a community here nearby that pulled up to my son's soccer game once in a orange McLaren. So we were all oohing and eyeing him, taking a picture of it and taking it all in. So
yeah, I've never really been in one, but I've virtually been in one, and I'm assuming it's very similar. It's been interesting, that virtual reality thing. I wonder when they're going to start coming up with olfactory, the sense of smell and the sense of taste with these things.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing too. If you think of that, you could have baking video games or something. I mean, baking contest video games.
I guess they'd have to have some kind of olfactory cartridge that has different smells in it that you'd plug into a little unit that's plugged into your computer, and you could smell lemon and apple and
like a little USB plug-in device on the laptop. It could be somewhat close to the nose and take it in.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's I guess that'll be coming someday. And if you don't have the device, then you don't get to see what the chocolate cake smells like. Ha ha. This stuff is all fascinating to me. Did you ever see the movie Matrix?
I did. The Matrix, yes.
Yeah, if we're like in it or out of it, are we just like a bunch of ones and zeros, or are we actually experiencing this thing we call life? It's all the whole magic thing, it's perceived reality.
That's right. You
got any more tech news?
That's it on the tech update, Brad.
Okay.
But that Read software is just really interesting.
It is, and a lot of that stuff, it's pretty weird. You don't know what to believe when you're watching TikTok and you see these things happening, and you wonder, because they're doing green screen kind of stuff, and a person is supposedly doing a dance and doing backflips in the aisles of a shopping center. Are they really there?
Yeah.
Because I watch TikTok stuff, and you see people at this shopping center, and they're continuing to do their shopping, and there's some guy doing all sorts of dance, but they're kind of like ignoring that person. I would think they would turn around and watch, but that's how you kind of tell that it's not really in a shopping center. It's just placed there, and they've got all those filters that make you look younger or older. Or I just saw one where, what Hollywood celebrity do you look like, and it will kind of take your features and turn it into that. And, the deep fake stuff. It's interesting, but it's kind of creepy, in my opinion.
Well, if there's any McLaren owners watching the show, give a thumbs up. But
there you go.
Yeah. But I also want to let our viewers know that we're always looking for a good guest to come on. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you have an online thing going, chances are we can use you. We can put you on. You can tell us what you do and tell the audience what you do. So feel free to reach out to Brad or I if you want to come on the show. It's every Tuesday.
If you go to contactmagicbrad.com, that connects to my different social media platforms and email and phone number and all. And these days, you got to have multiple ways of being contacted because it could happen anyways. You notice that I sent you an email and a Facebook and a LinkedIn link for this show today because I never know where you're going to be.
And don't underestimate the value of video. Video is on the rise. It's starting to overtake email. It's starting to really be a great marketing tool. So, and this is video itself. It's going to stream. It's on 3 things at once, Brad, right? LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook all at the same time.
And the longevity on YouTube is considerably longer. Facebook, it eventually disappears somewhere, I think in 30 days or something like that. But the YouTube video is up there longevity-wise. And if people do the video and want to utilize the file, I can grab the file and give it to them, and they can put it on their own server.
Sounds great.
It can be done.
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else, we could end this one, or if you got another topic, we could chat more. We've been on for only 15 minutes, but for sure.
Usually about 20, but Canva added video capabilities. Canva is something that I use.
Yep.
You know, I use when I promote my writing work that I do a piece on LinkedIn, and then I do a Canva meme, that's MEME, for that piece on LinkedIn. So I put it out on Instagram, or I put it out on Twitter, and or even on LinkedIn again, and I just multiply the content as a marketing tool. So if I the 5 best ways to write a great headline, I'll then create a meme out of that. And now you can actually automate and set up daily memes to go out through Canva. It's a monthly subscription fee. And now the tech news is they are adding a lot of video capability too. So Canva is something to check out if you're a business owner and you need to promote yourself. You ever use Canva, Brad?
All the time. In fact, I was just grabbing something here to show you, because this was done in Canva. This was done in Canva.
And it is a crazy real estate market.
This was done as Canva.
Enough to blow up your afro.
You also have the ability to do QR codes in Canva, where you can just grab a domain and then it just generates it a QR code, and then you can drop that into a postcard. So I do these postcards with my Magic marketing tool right there. If you scan that, it'll take you to a landing page on your phone. So QR codes are pretty cool, and I use it to get off this internet thing and into the physical life of real postcards. And
Would that be mailbox power?
Yeah, exactly. And I send the postcards out. These are return postcards because some people change their addresses and stuff, but I keep them and I use it for my event business.
Great.
Absolutely. Yeah, Canva is great. I just use the free version, and I thank them for allowing me to do that, because it has all these photographs and stuff on there. Really easy to use. That's a good piece of technology.
Yeah.
You had said.
So yeah, that wraps up our tech talk for today. Tech news, and like I said, looking for a guest, and don't hesitate to contact Brad or I if you want to come on the show.
Absolutely. Well, I'll pop you into the green room and close this off, and if you want, we can have another chat, or if you got things to do, we could do that too. So Brian, I appreciate you digging into that technology. Now we know more.
Thanks, Brad. See you soon.
Well, there's my friend Brian. We talked about technology, and initially I was going to talk about all the different moving parts in technology with the gears and all that kind of stuff. But we talked about technology, the new stuff that's always coming out, always changing. So if you want to know more about it, tune in next Tuesday, 9 a.m. We talk about tech and all the fun stuff in technology. So peace, love, and happiness. This is MagicBrad signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be well, be good, be safe. I'll see you later.